could it be? With me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to the Skill Game, brought to you by Sleeper. We'll get to the Sleeper app here in a bit, but before we do that, let's talk about Sunday Night Football. Buffalo Bills looking to bounce back from their first defeat of the season last week against the New England Patriots on, coincidentally enough, or excuse me, that's Monday night, isn't it? That's one of the Monday night games. Sunday night, who is Sunday night? Oh, Chiefs and Lions. I've set this up as Falcons and Bills. So we'll stick with some other games because we're going to do this one on Monday. So let's just have this be Chiefs, Lions. I'll go back. I'll change the artwork. Well, I was going to say 2 weeks in a row on Sunday Night Football. That doesn't make any sense. Of course it doesn't because it's not happening. This is a big game. Detroit Lions at the Kansas City Chiefs. For Detroit, this is a bit of a statement opportunity for them. Not because the Chiefs are what they have been in past years at this point of the season where they've usually been dominant at this point. I don't think the Chiefs lost their first game of the season until week 10 or 11 last year, whatever the case may be. The Chiefs are struggling, but we still view the Chiefs as a live dog, as someone that is still among the best in the NFL. And if you're Detroit, this is an opportunity for you to continue to prove. And I felt like even though we've seen Baltimore's struggles early in this season with all the injuries and things of that nature, they weren't injured when Detroit went into Baltimore and beat them. They had all their guys for the most part. Lamar was healthy. They just went in there and they out-physicaled and outplayed the Baltimore Ravens. And that was one of those big seminal moments in their season thus far, probably their signature win of the season thus far for Detroit. Here's another opportunity against another AFC powerhouse. Again, traditionally, Baltimore has been a powerhouse and Kansas City has been a powerhouse. Neither one of those teams right now look to be in that category. But part of the reason they're not in that category is because of teams like Detroit beating them and knocking them down a notch. So can the Lions do this again, this time to the Kansas City Chiefs? And they've gone into Arrowhead before and won, have the Lions. As a matter of fact, let me just double check to make sure that I have this correct. Yes, they're going into Arrowhead. They've done this before. Remember, they did this opening day, Thursday Night Football 2023, I think it was, where that bunch went in there week one and shocked everyone. And that was no Chris Jones week one. I'm not sure that Kelsey played either. Didn't matter, though. Those guys matter, obviously, but it was more about what Detroit did, right? They came out first possession, deep in their own territory, fake field goal or fake punt, excuse me, and they kind of never looked back, and they won that game 20-19 or something of that sort, and it was a statement that, hey, we're here, we've arrived, and the Lions went on to, if I'm not mistaken, if I don't have my seasons mixed up, go all the way on to the NFC Championship game and fall short to the San Francisco 49ers. However, they've been in this situation against Kansas City. They're not afraid of this Chiefs team. And again, who should be at this point with the way Kansas City has played to start this season off? But if there's one team that definitely isn't afraid of them, it's this Detroit Lions team. They play a fearless brand of football. Jared Goff off to another fast start this season. He's playing phenomenally well. The running game is being is the star of the show right now with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Those two continue to tear the lid off of the NFL with their play. It seems like each of them score touchdowns every week now, and the Lions are up to their normal tricks. We had questions after the week one performance. They lost both of their coordinators this offseason to head coaching gigs, and we thought, well, maybe this won't be the same Lions team. They come out, they get drubbed by Green Bay in week one. We've got questions, and we were struggling for answers at the time. And they've since then just ran off 4 straight victories. They've been dominant in most of those games. They've scored a boatload of points, 50 in one game against Chicago. And it feels like every other game it's been 30 plus. And they've just been this machine and this juggernaut of a football team. And they look like they picked right up where they left off, pretty much each of the last 2 seasons. So this is another opportunity for Detroit to declare that not only are we one of the best teams in the NFC, we're one of the best teams in the league. And, one of the ways you identify that is by going on the road in hostile environments and coming out victorious. Anybody can win at home. It takes a real NFL team to go on the road in a tough environment and come out victorious. That is extremely hard to do in this league. And the Lions have mastered that. Can they do it again here after already going to Baltimore on a Monday night and finding a way to win? Can they do it again here on a Sunday night against a Kansas City Chiefs team that is extremely desperate? I will say this: if they are to win this game, they're going to have to start with their offense, right? Because the Chiefs, although they scored some points on Monday night versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, they've struggled to score this season. Now they're getting healthier. They're getting some of their guys back, and that'll continue as the season progresses. They'll get Rashid Rice back here in the next couple of weeks. And so they'll start to get a lot healthier here. They'll start to get guys back from suspension, et cetera, et cetera. And the offense might be that much more dangerous. But they've struggled to score. Mahomes has turned the football over, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're Detroit, just do what you've been doing. Put points on the scoreboard. And as I watch this Chiefs football team, they've been not necessarily susceptible against the run, but they've definitely been susceptible to the deep pass game, right? Because they're so aggressive on defense. Because a lot of times when you get into obvious passing situations, Steve Spagnuolo wants to turn up the heat, go cover 0, or he'll go cover 1, but it'll be man across the board, and he's coming after you with 6 or 7 guys, and you're going to have a shot to take, you're going to have opportunities to take shots down the field. Can Jared Goff stand in the pocket, poised, knows the pressure is coming, not have his feet be happy, stand there and deliver the football, even if there's a hit impending? If they can do that, you have opportunities to get the ball vertically to guys like Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown and others that can really hurt. Isaac Tesla, this is one of those games where I can see him making a big-time catch down the field. But if you're Detroit, you have to stick with the run, even if it isn't as successful. I think you can have some success on the ground. I don't think it's going to be that tremendous success that you're looking for necessarily, but I think you can have some success on the ground. But where I really think you can shine in this game offensively is through the air, vertically, deep, against the blitz, whether it's a pass interference or a big-time completion. There will be opportunities. Can you take advantage of them? And if you can, finish off drives with touchdowns and not field goals, and you will have a really good chance of going into Arrowhead and doing what other teams have had some success doing this season, and it's coming out of Kansas City with a win. I say other teams, and I'm trying to think. I think the only team that went in there and won thus far this season is Philadelphia. Most of their losses, I feel like, have come on the road. They had the loss over in Brazil. They had the loss to the Jaguars, and they lost to who else? Philadelphia. And those are their 3 losses. They're 2-3 right now. So, yeah, the only loss at home is to Philadelphia, but they've had some struggles here. So take advantage of that. The good thing for the Chiefs in the 2 losses that they've had, they've both been against teams with mobile quarterbacks. This is not a team with a mobile quarterback, so you don't have to necessarily worry about the quarterback getting out in space if you are to be aggressive and a big lane opens up. Jared Goff isn't going anywhere for the most part. So if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, I don't have to tell you how big of a game this is. Your back isn't necessarily firmly against the wall, but at 2-3, can you really truly afford to fall to 2-4? With the Chargers being on the road this week at Miami and the Broncos being overseas against the hapless Jets, can you really afford to fall to 2-4 while those teams have a chance to improve to 4-2? Do you really want to dig yourself? Keep in mind, you've already lost to the Chargers once. You really don't want to put yourself in that type of a hole. Not that you can't dig yourself up out of it, which is why this is not a must-win game. But as you continue to dig deeper and deeper, you get into that Cincinnati Bengals 2024 territory of how far is too far before you get to the point of no return. And no matter how hot you get down the stretch, is it too little, too late? You don't want to find yourself in that conversation. You don't want to find yourself in that position. So this is a big game. And this is a really big test. A really good. This might be the best team that the NFC has to offer in the Detroit Lions. We'll see. But whatever the case may be, here's some things that you have to do if you think you're going to have a chance to win this game. One, you can't turn it over. If you look at the Chiefs in their 3 losses, 2 of them have had massive red zone interceptions thrown. The Eagles game in week 2, that was the turning point in that game. You hit Kelsey there, it's a touchdown. You probably beat the Eagles in week 2. In week number 5 against the Jacksonville Jaguars, you dominated that game early. You're up 14-0. The Jaguars battle back, and it's a tie ball game at 21 apiece. And you're going up for the go-ahead score, and you throw a back-breaking 99-yard pick six to the crib to linebacker Devin Lloyd. It can't happen in this game. You can't fumble. You can't throw interceptions. You can't take points off the scoreboard. You have to be clean in the turnover department if you're Kansas City. That's the first thing right out of the gates. Number 2, going up against this Lions defense that is vulnerable. Like, this is not a great Lions secondary in particular. You can move the football against this Lions defense. You can throw the football against this Lions defense, but you have to be able to protect up front. The Chiefs have had their struggles at times protecting, but by and large, this is a group that should be able to get it done as long as you don't allow Aiden Hutchinson to wreck the game. If you can protect against Aiden Hutchinson, they really don't have a bunch of other guys that, scare you, that move the needle necessarily. And so if you can protect up front, you should have time to operate in this football game. And again, the Lions will give it up defensively. This is not a great defensive football team. You can move the football against them. They are opportunistic, however. They will force turnovers. And if you don't take care of the ball, and if you do put it in harm's way, you may not get it back. So be mindful of where Brian Branch is. Be mindful of where Aiden Hutchinson is. Make sure you're taking care of the best that the Lions have to offer on the defensive side of the football. And you should be fine in this game from an offensive standpoint. Convert on third downs. Eliminate the penalties. This is something else the Chiefs have really done poorly this season, is they've hurt themselves. Tons of penalties. They had a boatload of penalties on Monday night. They had a boatload of penalties a couple of weeks ago. They had a boatload of penalties early in the season in their loss to the Chargers. They have to eliminate the mistakes. Play clean football. Put yourself in a position to score points. Can't give it away in the red zone. Have to put points on the scoreboard. Have to find a way to establish some sort of run game. Something that there's no balance right now in Kansas City. And so Mahomes has been your best source of ground yards. That can't be the case, but it may have to be this week against the Lions. We'll see what you're able to do. Ultimately, this is a big one, right? This is a big one. So take care of the football. Find ways to get stops in the red zone. The Lions have been so prolific down in the red zone. When they get down there, they usually put the ball in the end zone. If you can get a couple of stops down there, force them to settle for some field goals. If you can score some touchdowns yourself, eliminate penalties and mistakes, be efficient on the offensive side of football. Normally, these are the conversations we're having about teams playing against Kansas City. Like, control the ball, keep their offense off the field, et cetera, et cetera. When you get an opportunity, score points, don't turn it over. These are the things we say when you're playing Kansas City. Now we're saying it to Kansas City playing a team like Detroit. You want to keep their offense off the field. But with the way your defense is playing right now, Detroit can light you up for 37, 40 points. Your defense has not been good this season at all, really. You've had your moments, right? against Philadelphia, against the Giants. You've had your moments against certain teams, but for the most part, you've struggled defensively mightily this season. Baltimore, you were able to, but these are all bad teams we're talking about, with the exception of Philadelphia. The Giants are a bad football team, or at least they were when you saw them, and so are the Ravens right now with the state of their situation. When you've played quality offenses, you've struggled. You've struggled. This is better than quality offense. This is one of the best in the business. Can you get stops defensively? I don't know if you can or not. Here's what I'm banking on. And I maybe this is my last stand with the Chiefs. Here's what I'm banking on. The desperation at home, knowing what's at stake, understanding that you don't want to fall to 2-4, knowing that this team has championship mettle. They've been tested before. They've been here. You don't go to 3 straight Super Bowls, right? You don't go to 3 straight Super Bowls without being tested. They've been tested before. They've been not necessarily here before, but they've been in some tumultuous situations. They've started seasons slow before. We've questioned them before. This is not new. So they've been here. They've done that. And they've always persevered. I'm counting on them to do it again. And if you're looking for a statement win, if you're Kansas City, because initially, maybe it was Baltimore, right? Doesn't look like Baltimore is going to qualify as a statement win. This is the one, right? This is your opportunity for a statement win right here. I think the Chiefs find a way to get it done on Sunday Night Football. This is going to be a fun one too, right? 2 really good teams, even though the Chiefs record-wise doesn't suggest that. We know better than to count the Chiefs out. And I think they show up in this game and they get it done. It's going to be something along the lines of, 29-27, 30-27, something along those lines, 31-27, something like that. But the Chiefs are going to outlast the Detroit Lions. Should be a good game. So with that said, let's get to the skill game, brought to you by Sleeper.
The skill game, brought to you by Sleeper.
All right, so Sleeper is a fantasy sports and real money gaming app that focuses on bringing people together through sports and gaming. I can't tell you how much fun I've had with this app this season, and I really appreciate all of you who have been along with me on this journey as we continue to utilize this app, have fun, but it's also about trying to make some money, right? And this app has some of the fastest and safest withdrawals that I've ever experienced in the market. Man, it's so easy to put money in, and it's just as easy to get the money out. And so I'm looking forward to this opportunity this week to try and win some money. And I want you to come along for the ride with me. So all I'm asking you to do is, if you don't have the Sleeper app downloaded, go to the description of this and every single video that I do, and you'll find a link there that you can click. It'll take you to where you can download the app. Download that app and then use my promo code LTN to get you 100% deposit, 100% match on your first deposit up to $100. That's right. It's a dollar for dollar match. So essentially you put in $100, they're going to give you an additional 100 to spend on the app. They're also doing an additional promotion this month, in the month of October, where you sign up, you download the app, they're going to give you $20. Again, what's not to love about free? Who doesn't love free? Anyway, let's get busy, right? So Sunday Night Football. So we're going to go ahead, and this app is so user-friendly. The interface is awesome. It's so easy to use. So let's just go through this, right? NFL, I'm going to click on the NFL, right? And we're going to go to the Sunday night game. So we're going to make two separate tickets. We're going to start with the Sunday night game, and then I'm going to do a guarantees ticket, right? And I think I'm going to focus my theme this week on touchdowns. Who's going to score touchdowns in these games? I always run from touchdowns. I'm going to run towards touchdowns this week. So let's start with the Detroit Kansas City game. So we're going to click on that game. It's going to bring up all of the different picks that you have at your disposal for this particular game. So let's see what they have. We're gonna start with the hot picks. So Jahmyr Gibbs, anytime touchdown. I've already told you, and I've said this a million times. Anytime it's a Detroit Lions game, give me Jahmyr Gibbs to score a touchdown. So I'm going to take Jahmyr Gibbs for a touchdown. That's automatic for any Detroit Lions game that I'm a part of. I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs, right? Patrick Mahomes, 1.5 passing touchdowns. I think I'm going to leave that alone for now. Tyquan Thornton. Last week, I talked myself out of Tyquan Thornton because I said, Xavier Worthy's back. They got Hollywood Brown. They got all these targets now. Tyquan Thornton is going to kind of fade to black. And then he was the leading receiver last week. They have him set at 24.5 yards. That feels great. Let me just double check to see. I think he had over 80 yards last week. 90 yards last week. I think I'm going to stick with Tyquan Thornton this week. I think I made a mistake last week, and hopefully I'm not overcorrecting here, right? And that they'll go to him again because he feels like a forgotten man. Like if you're going to cover somebody, it's going to be Xavier Worthy. It's going to be Hollywood Brown. No one's thinking about Tyquan Thornton. Give me him for more than 25 yards in this game. Jared Goff, passing touchdowns. Feels like he's going to throw more than 2 passing touchdowns in this game. But we'll come back to that if we need to. Man, Montgomery seems to score every week just like Jahmyr Gibbs does, but I'm not going to do both of the running backs. So we'll keep it pushing. Now, Brashard Smith. We did this last week with the Chiefs. I'm going to stick with this theme. So he's had 3 catches each of the last 2 weeks. I've told you that he's now a part of this offense. Let me see where the receiving yards. 11. Which one is more likely? He could catch the football on 1 catch and get 12 yards, or I could just rely on him catching the ball twice, right? Twice. I feel like 2 catches is so easy for me to ask him to have. Let's just do that. That's a hot pick, and I like this hot pick. I'm going to stick with it. You should catch it twice out of the backfield. I feel like they like him enough to where he's going to continue to get on the field. Isaiah Pacheco is banned from being on any of my tickets. So nothing that he has going for him is going to allow me to put him on my ticket. See. I think that is all that I want from the hot picks. Now we're just going to go through the actual categories and see. Pass yards, I think I'm going to leave both of them alone, even though Goff at 235 feels inevitable. Like, when's the last time Jared Goff threw for less than, he's thrown for less than 235 almost every game this season. So, never mind. I'm definitely not touching Jared Goff in this game, even though he's probably going to exceed 236 yards. Definitely not touching that. If I want to do anything Mahomes in this game, it'll be Mahomes rush yards, but I don't even know if I want to do that with Mahomes in this game, to be honest with you. Not touching Gibbs or Hunt rush yards. Montgomery, he's interesting. If I need to, I could come back to him, but I'm going to leave him alone as well. So let's keep going. Receiving yards. You know, I love to live in the receiving yards and receptions categories. So I already did Thornton. I feel like Jameson Williams is going to have at least one big deep ball play this game. I'm not sure if I trust him enough to do it, but I feel like with the way they blitz, that's the guy that you go to if they're going to try to go cover 0, if they're going to go cover 1 and give you one-on-one. He's the guy that I feel like you go to. I'm not comfortable enough doing it though. It's crazy because Isaac Tesla, he don't get many targets, but when he do get targeted, it's usually like 15 to 20 to 30 yards down the field. So Yeah, I'm gonna leave him alone. You just never know what he's gonna decide to do. Let's go to receptions. Rush touchdowns. I said I was gonna leave one of the Lions running backs out of this mix, but if they get down to the 1 or the 2 yard line, I can easily see them giving it to David Montgomery. I think each of the running backs have scored in each of the last 2 games, so wouldn't be surprised to see them make it a third, but I'm going to definitely leave that alone. If the Chiefs get down there now, conversely, they're going to give it to Kareem Hunt. He's going to be the guy that they give it to. I could easily see them getting down to the 1 or 2 yard line and Kareem Hunt running it in. I think that's I'm gonna go with that right now. Because if they get down there, that's who's getting the rock. Kareem Hunt's gonna be the one to get it and take it into the end zone. Receptions, we've already did Rashard Smith. So I see Tyquan Thornton at 1.5 receptions. Let me go back to his yards for a second. Because 2 catches is a lot easier to get than 24 yards. So let me go back, see how many. It's 1.81 multiplier. It's a negligible difference. So I'm gonna reduce that, take that off, and I'm gonna go to Tyquan Thornton's catches, and I'm gonna take that instead. I'm gonna take that instead. Let's see who else. What's Jameson Williams been up to? Not a lot, and that's why I don't trust him. Yeah. This feels like a Juju Smith-Schuster game. I wish this was at 1.5. I'd take him. Because this feels like a game where he has 4 catches. This feels like a game where he has 4 catches. Boy, 3 is a big number for me with him, though. I'm going to put him on the ticket, though. I'm feeling Juju for 3 catches. All right. So I think I'm done there. I don't think I'm going to mess with either one of the kickers in this game. In particular, pass attempts. Let's see. How do I feel about the pass attempts in this game? Jared Goff, I can't see him. Yeah, he doesn't throw it that often. Mahomes, on the other hand, I could see him having to throw it 40 times in this game. He had to do it last week. He's been right around that 37 mark. The Lions are going to force him to have to throw the football. He's only going to throw it that many times, though, if they're down. What if they're not down in this game? He won't throw it that many times. I just don't want to take that risk. You know what I mean? So, rush attempts. I like David Montgomery at 11. See what he's done this season. Yeah, he hasn't had less than 11, but one time this season. I really like him at 11. So I'm gonna take him there. And then rush and pass, Mahomes 294. So they didn't give me Mahomes as a rush option. I probably would have taken it. You combine his rush and his passing yards. I mean, how many times is Mahomes rush and pass yards? It's only exceeded this twice, but it's been 2 games that are similar to this one in the Chargers and the Jaguars where they had to score. He had to do more. This feels like a game where he could do that. It honestly does. Let's see. Receiving and rushing. Definitely leaving this alone. Want no parts of that. Let's see what the ticket is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. And it can win me 360. I think I'm good where I'm at right here. I don't need to add anything else to the ticket. I got Gibbs anytime touchdown. I got Brashard Smith more than 2 catches or 2 catches. I got Kareem Hunt with a rush touchdown. I got Tyquan Thornton with at least 2 catches. I got Juju Smith-Schuster with 3 catches. And I got David Montgomery with at least 11 carries. Let me go check on the tight end. I think this feels like a game where he's going to have 4 catches. If it's at 3.5 for Sam Laporta, I'm taking it. If it's probably going to be at 4.5. Let's go to receptions. Let's see. Yep, it's at 4.5. I could probably bust it down though. Oh man, it just reset. Come on. I was just about done. I was just about done. Now I got to do it all over again. Shucks. All right, so we had Gibbs, anytime touchdown. We had Tyquan Thornton for 1.5 receptions. We had David Montgomery on a rushing touchdown. We had, I was going to take Sam Laporta on his receptions. So we'll go back to that. All right. So I think that's all I had there. Rush yards. I don't think I had anybody on rush yards. Oh, Mahomes is here for rush yards. 28.5. Interesting. He's going to leave that alone. This feels like a game he's going to have to run, though. So really feel like he's going to have to be someone that runs the football in this game. Brashard Smith. Already did him. I think I left all of these guys alone from a receiving yard standpoint. And receptions, we got busy in the receptions department. Brashard Smith, receptions. Thornton receptions. I'm going to take Laporta and I'm going to bust him down to I feel like I could get him at 3. All right. So 4th. You know what? Take him off. I might be doing too much. All right. And what am I forgetting now? Oh, rush attempts. I had Montgomery, Moore. I also had Montgomery scoring. I already had him scoring a rushing touchdown. So let me see what I got now. What am I forgetting? I had a lot more Chiefs up here. I had 2 Montgomerys. I said I wasn't taking Montgomery on the touchdown. So go back and take him off of that. Passing attempts, kick points. I didn't do anything in that department. Receptions. I feel like I did more here for the Lions. I mean, for the Chiefs. At Juju. So this felt like a Juju game. And then I had Jameer with the anytime. Probably should go Amara with the anytime. I had Kareem Hunt with the rush touchdown. I do know that. He gets down there, he's gonna score. So I think I got everything now. And I added in the David Montgomery rush touchdown. I need to take him off though. I ain't comfortable with him. And it was 360. Yeah, there we go. I really think I could add Sam Laporta to this. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add Sam Laporta to this, but I'm gonna bust him down to 3 so I can be at 4 because I was comfortable with him. And so now let's see where we at. See, that didn't add enough. Nah, it's not worth the risk. It ain't worth the risk. So yeah, 360, 6 picks. So Gibbs, 1 touchdown. Thornton, 2 catches. Rashard Smith, 2 catches. David Montgomery, at least 11 carries. Juju Smith-Schuster, 3 catches. And Kareem Hunt, 1 rush touchdown. That feels like a winner chicken dinner. $15 bet to net me $360. Let's get it. All right. So now I'm going to also put in a special for this week. My guarantees, we're going to go touchdowns scored. So we're going to go back to the NFL. All right. And let's go through the games. I'm not doing anything. I learned my lesson. The last 2 weeks, I've had tickets die on the overseas game. Not doing that this time around. So we're going to start with the 1 o'clock games. Rams. Puka Nacua is scoring a touchdown in this game. Kyron Williams is scoring a touchdown. I'm not going to take both of them. I just need to take one of them. Which one of the 2 is more likely to happen? Let's look at what Puka Nacua has done. Anytime touchdown for Puka. Let's see what he's done. He's at 1 in 3 of the last 4 games. Meanwhile, Kyron Williams didn't score against Indy. He scored 2 against San Francisco. I think he's the guy that I feel safer with here. Give me a Kyron Williams anytime touchdown in that game. I'm not messing with anybody on Baltimore with Lamar being out of the lineup. So we go on to Dallas. Javonte Williams has been scoring like a madman this season. He scored in every game but 1. And I see that happening again here. So give me Javonte Williams. Rico Dowdle. I think this is a revenge Rico Dowdle type game. I don't know if he's going to have a big game or not, but I do think he can score in this game. We'll come back to him if we need to. You know what? Let's just put him on the ticket, and if we need to take somebody off, it'll be Rico Dowdle. Moving on. Arizona and Indy. Jonathan Taylor. He is a scoring machine. Give me JT for a touchdown. Anytime. Let's see if the rush number is higher than. Yeah, the rush number is higher. So let me take off JT for the anytime, and let's get him on the rush touchdown. Let me go back to Javonte, because Javonte ain't catching no touchdowns. He's going to run for one. So let me get him on the rush touchdown because it's more of a multiplier. Let me get him on the rush touchdown. Rico Dowdle, like I said, he ain't catching nothing. He's going to run it in. So let me get him on the rush touchdown. Do they even have him listed? I don't see him listed for the rush touchdown. So I'll just leave him as an anytimer. He may come off of this thing anyway when it's all said and done. Travis Etienne let me down last week, so he probably going to score now that I'm not messing with him. He'll probably score this week, but going to leave him alone. I'm just going to leave that entire game alone because Seattle, they funky when they get down in the red zone. They'll give it to Charbonnet. That's usually who scores the touchdowns for them when they get down in the red zone. Matter of fact, where's Zach Charbonnet at? And he's got a good multiplier too. They get down there and they love giving him the damn football. He ain't catching it and running it in. He going to run it in. So let me get him on a rush touchdown because they get down in the red zone and they put Zach Charbonnet in the game. So I'm going to add him to the mix. And I want all of these to be 1 o'clock. So I want to know if I won by 1 o'clock. I don't want to take this into the 4 o'clock hour. Chargers and Dolphins. There's nobody in this game other than you know who I love, Devin Achane. Anytime touchdown for him, I'll take it. He's the only person that I'm picking out of that game. As we move on, Saints and I'm staying away from that game. Steelers and Browns. I think I want to stay away from this game too. Neither one have, running backs that I trust. Neither of them have receivers that I know are going to get in the end zone. So I think I want to stay away from that game. I'm going 8 here. So it's going to be 8 players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only got 6 right now. So let's go get 2 more guys that I feel good about. So Etienne is probably one of the players that I'm going to go and retrieve. Let me go get Puka. That's what I'm going to go get Puka for an anytime, or just go receiving touchdown. I don't think they have receiving touchdowns. You got to go anytime. Let me just go. I'm going to go Puka. He scored in 3 of the last 4 games. So I'm going to go Puka. And then you're stretching me here. I think I'm gonna go Travis Etienne. I'm gonna go Travis Etienne. They put your boy in a lot down there. Bayshul Tootin. I wonder if he could score this week. I don't want to hinge my whole ticket on Bayshul Tootin getting in the end zone. That's not a good look for me. Let me look at these 4 o'clock games. They might be a better, now I feel like I'm forcing it. And I don't want to feel like I'm forcing it. So, like, I know for a fact that Josh Jacobs is scoring a touchdown. It's going to be a rush touchdown. So I'm going to take Josh Jacobs. And then the Titans and the Raiders, the 49ers, McCaffrey's going to score a touchdown at any time. Rashad White probably going to score a touchdown in this game, more likely than not. So you know what? Let me go back. I don't want Puka. Let's get him out of here. And I don't want Zach Charbonnet. I feel good about everybody else. That's got me at 6, right? I'm going to go get Rashad White for any time and Christian McCaffrey for any time. And I'm out of here. McCaffrey, Rashad White. All right. Now I feel like I got a winner chicken dinner. And that Zach Charbonnet hurt me, taking him off. I'm going to take Rico Dowdle off and put Zach Charbonnet back on because I really think Zach Charbonnet is going to score today in that game. And his multiplier is better. That should not be. I'm breaking all kinds of rules by basing all my touchdown for him off of a multiplier, but I actually think he's going to score. And I've watched the way that the Seahawks operate when they get down there. They like giving it to Zach Charbonnet. So that's going to boost my money a lot. So that puts me over $1,000, right? So I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better with Zach Charbonnet being up here. All right. So I got touchdowns for Kyron Williams, Jonathan Taylor, Javonte Williams, Devin Achane, Josh Jacobs, Christian McCaffrey, Rashad White, and Zach Charbonnet. Now, of these touchdowns, Kyron Williams, Devin Achane. How did McCaffrey sneak in here with 50 rush yards? No. We have an anytime touchdown for my guy. All right, that's better. So I brought my money down too, but I don't care. So I wonder if they got him for a receiving touchdown. Yeah, the receiving touchdown is higher. He's more likely to catch a receiving touchdown than anytime. It's just you know what? Don't be greedy. You're being greedy now. He's probably going to catch it, but just keep it as anytime, just in case he don't catch it this week, but he just run it in. So Kyron Williams, Devin Achane. This is why it's important to look over your ticket before you hit the submit entry button. Now, the good thing about Sleeper is, and I see the window. Let me reconnect. See if I can get it reconnected. The good thing about Sleeper is they give you 5 minutes after you submit your ticket to make changes to it, cancel it, make alterations to it, even after you've submitted it. That's a good thing as well. Just in case you make a mistake or you have, some sort of remorse after you've hit the button, you can go back in and you can alter it. So it's all good. We're all pretty much done here, right? That's the skill game. I'm gonna go over it with you guys real quick.
The skill game brought to you by Sleeper.
So just to recap, I got Kyron Williams, Devin Achane, Rashard White. I got to change this. I don't want an anytime touchdown for him. I want a rushing touchdown for him. See if they have that. They may not even have that for him because right now I'm looking and I don't see. Yeah, I see rush touchdown. Let's take this off and go to rush touchdown. He's going to run it in. That's going to boost my money up too. So I got Kyron Williams, Devin Achane, and Christian McCaffrey for anytime touchdowns because those guys are threats to catch it out of the backfield. So I want to take advantage of the fact that they could catch it or rush it. And then Jonathan Taylor, Javonte Williams, Josh Jacobs, Zach Charbonnet, and Rashard White are all just strictly rush touchdowns. Betting $15 can win $1,252 if this hits. Let's get it. So that is my guarantees pick for the week. And you guys have done a phenomenal job of taking the ones that you believe in and cutting out the ones you don't. And you've won money. I haven't of late. But this one feels good. Feels good. And I did the smart thing here. I stayed away from the 9 o'clock game, the London game, right? So anyway, that's going to do it for me, your man Louie T, here on the skill game for Sunday Night Football. Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Detroit Lions. Should be a fantastic game. Once again, if you haven't already done so, download the Sleeper app. Use my promo code LTN to get you 100% match on your first deposit up to $100. And they're giving away $20 for free when you download the app in the month of October. So that's going to do it for me, your man Louie T. Until next time on the skill game brought to you by Sleeper. See you guys next time. Have a good one.